Welcome everyone to lesson 12. Our focus this week is on social media. And we'll really break it down into two sections. One, the effect of social media on search engine optimization, and two, just a broad introduction to social networking. Your project 4 is due, so keep an eye on that. If you are watching this and you have not started on that, please start right away. As I mentioned before, it's not quite as time intensive as, say, project 1 and 2, as far as your time spent on the project, but it does require time to run those campaigns, your Google Ads campaign. So if you haven't started on it yet, it will be tough to wrap that up in time, but please start right away to see how much progress you can make. First, social media for search engine optimization. There is not a direct algorithmic link, we'll say, between search engine optimization and social media, meaning if you open a Twitter account and post a bunch of links to your website, that doesn't necessarily increase your search engine optimization and have you rank higher on Google. But there is a strong correlation between businesses that do well on social media and businesses that do well on search engine optimization. So there's a correlation, even though from Google's standpoint, there's not necessarily a causation between the two. So it's good to link these two together, and there's some readings on how to make the most of your social media strategy as it relates to search engine optimization. So your responsibility is really just to summarize the readings here in a one-page essay. It says, describe your social media optimization plan, including short-term and long-term goals, and explain how you will measure success. This gives you a great platform or a great framework for any new endeavor for your business. You want to know how you can be successful in the short term and long term, and then really the second question is so important: how you measure success. You'll have a lot of endeavors as a small business owner, and there's a lot of different directions you can take. But if you don't take time from the beginning to think how you will measure that success, it's easy to get lost in these and 6 months in or a year and say, are we successful in this? I don't know. It seems like we are. So it's really good to think about how you'll measure that success from the beginning, and then you can note, are you seeing that success as you go along? The second topic, introduction to social media, will be something I think that's a little bit more relatable if you've been on social networks in the past. This is really just getting into the nuts and bolts of how you are going to use social media, meaning what platforms, what content you're going to post on there, what's your target audience, those kind of key considerations when you develop a social media plan. So for the assignment, you'll list 4 social media sites on which you could market your website. Social media sites can be well-known, or they could be newer and less well-known. Be as creative as you'd like. A social media site is one that brings different users, different people in the community together. And so it's the more common ones, Twitter, YouTube. I'd say TikTok is now one of the more common ones. That used to be kind of the new up and coming. Or it can be a smaller social media network that you feel like is up and coming. Be creative. And think about the different demographics you'll reach. On Facebook, you'll reach a slightly older population. On Pinterest, you'll reach a slightly more female population. And so that think about who is more likely to purchase your products and where you will reach them. Different social media sites will appeal to different demographics. Then choose one of those social media sites and explain the specific steps that you'll take, right? How creative can you be? Social media is saturated with businesses, but this is your opportunity to connect to your audience, to your potential customers. This is where your business takes on a personality, and people get to know you. They get to like you, and then when the need for your product or service arises, they already know where they're going to. That's really the power of social media. is if you're creative, if you show your personality, you get the chance to have a great relationship with potential customers, and then in that moment when they need your company, they know where to look. That will be it for this week. If you're struggling with this, or if you have questions about a specific social network, please reach out. Happy to walk you through it. If you're struggling with Project 4, or if you've hit a hiccup, reach out. I mentioned this about the project already, but please make sure you are generating at least impressions. You don't necessarily have to have clicks on your site, but you do need to develop some impressions. If you don't have any impressions from your ad campaign down here for Project 4, then your campaign is not set up correctly. So if you don't have those impressions, reach out. I want you to do well on that project, and you really do need the data to do well. Thanks, everyone.